episode number 26. We are a North Carolina wrestling podcast that's presented to you by Carolina's Mat News. Check out Carolina's Mat News on all their social media accounts. Also, make sure you go to CarolinaTakedownTalk.com. Check out all the content we're putting up there, old episodes, old interviews, articles. We're going to throw up some new content that you'll love. Also, go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share some videos. Everything on there is for free for you, for the North Carolina wrestling fan. And we're back. Episode number 26. It's been a little bit, Rhett. I'm excited to talk a little wrestling with you. Before we get going, obviously we're virtual here, so just like teams are across the state of North Carolina, Carolina Takedown Talk, we are no different. We are also dealing with some COVID issues. Right now, we're both good. We're not in quarantine at the current moment. Rhett will be at Newton Conover Bandy's at Newton Conover tomorrow. I'm unable to make that one because of some work meetings. But over the past couple weeks, we have been dealing with some COVID issues. That's why we've been a little quieter than normal. But we're excited to get it kicked back off, wrap up the Holy Angels and the holiday tournaments, and talk about some recent results and some team rankings.
I was on quarantine last week. I'm off, so I'm free. I'm back to the wrestling world. Can come and see some more tournaments. Super pumped to be back. I hate that we can't be in person. Kind of a throwback to the old days whenever we first started doing our YouTube show. Right at the beginning of everything. But man, speaking of it, just if everyone out there, all teams, any wrestler dealing with this stuff right now, hope you guys are healthy. Really looking forward to getting everybody back on the mat and keeping going. Just thinking everybody, making sure, want everybody to be healthy. We want to be sincere about that. Everybody's dealing with it. So is what it is. We got to make the best of it and, do what we can. Some tournaments got canceled, some duels got canceled, but we control, but we already put out a video about Bandy's Newton Conover tomorrow. I'm super pumped for that. That is a massive, massive duel, especially in like the 2A race, especially the dual team race, because what's crazy about 2A is that the top three teams, whether you look at it through SEWrestle or whether you look at it through ranked wrestlers, the top three are in the same conference. So
it's wild. It's wild.
Wild. And so, it's a big, big duel. I still think Bandy's is going to be your 2A state champs. I made that pick in the very beginning of the season. Said Bandy's, book it. And right now I'm staying with it. But they've got a tall task in Newton Conover. One of the results we will talk about later was there's West Lincoln over Newton Conover. So West Lincoln, I think they locked it. They're spot into the playoffs. I'm not positive on it, but this is just a really big duel and it's really cool. Two historic programs in North Carolina. I'm excited to be there. I've never been to a duel at Newton Conover, but I've been told that St. Stephen's, West Lincoln, Newton Conover are three of the best dual atmospheres in the state. Not sure how true it is. That would be one thing that, especially after COVID, I would hope that schools really start to buy into making that, making duels a cool thing. You see in other states, you see duels get sold out. I know it's a little bit tougher in different spots, different, parts of the state, but let's make duels a really cool environment, and everyone always thinks that a cool environment has to just be a spotlight. It doesn't have to just be a spotlight, but just put the extra little details into it to make it special for these kids to come out here and have home duels. And I think that's one thing St. Stephen's does. Ford definitely does it. I know that I left that team off the list. I mean, I've talked about them enough this year. Everyone is on my back about being a Ford homer this year, but it's kind of easy as good as they are right now, man. So, but
you're a homer of so many teams that I don't even know what a homer
exactly
is your team anymore.
Yeah,
Everybody likes to call you out. You're a Huff homer. You're an Inca homer. You're a
good
Ford
gosh,
homer.
man. Northwest Guilford knocked off Huff, and I don't know that I've easily had like 5 or 6 DMs, and I think it was Murray. He tagged me on one on Facebook. He's like, "Where's Right Hoy at now?" I'm just like, "Dude, like, sweet. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at." Like, but it's just one of those things that I don't think it's a bad thing. We have that many good teams in the state that you can we get to keep on talking about. You know, I mean, you got like Norman. Everybody says I'm like Norman Homer right now, but they're backing it up.
True.
I don't know about all that. I don't know, but
let's save the team talk.
I will always take that I'm an Inca homer after coaching there. Okay, like we can always claim that those are my boys, especially the guys that I coach, as long as they're in school. Grayson, Grayson Harris, all those guys. I'll take that one proudly, and is what it is. But like you said, we'll save the team talk for the Southeast Wrestle rankings that came out. But let's do some holiday tournament takeaways here, man.
Yeah, we haven't got a chance to talk since the holiday tournament. We went to the Tiger. We were there, live streamed the finals, got to see the semis.
We purposely didn't talk about a lot of tournaments, a lot of different results because we wanted to be genuine here. So
yes,
just so everybody knows.
Yeah, it just things didn't go the way we anticipated the past 2 weeks. That's for sure.
Right.
So, but man, we went to the Tiger. We got to live stream the finals. We got to see a lot of good kids in person, and then we were able to cover the Holy Angels from where we were at. Did a couple Instagram videos.
Did the best we could with that.
Best previews we could with that. So I don't know. A couple takeaways for me, man. I don't want to recap too much as far as like go match by match and both of those tournament finals type deal. One of the biggest things, man, that I took away from that, from the Tiger in particular, was Ethan Blevins over Brant Faserman. Man, dude is for real. Now, he's been on my radar since he was a freshman, and he hasn't quite gotten that result yet. That he was just always kind of like right there, that fighting to place type guy. But that result was huge, and it was no fluke. We were right there, mat side, calling the match. Like, he came to wrestle. Now, was the match really close and in the balance at the end? Yeah, but Blevins proved it. He's a title contender at 32. And then the other thing I took away from the Tiger is his teammate, Ian Fritz. Is a man. He's a man, dude. He is so good as a freshman. He looked phenomenal. Now he's got a tall task in his weight with Matthew Rowland, and they've already wrestled this year. Roll 1-5-1, but man, Fritz is really good. Fritz is really good. Those are two of my biggest takeaways from Tiger.
My two big takeaways from Tiger is Ethan Blevins, dude, like the real deal. Junior, I know he just reached his 100th win as a junior. And I kind of want to take him at, like, I don't know if it might just be me, but I feel like these 100 win marks, like especially for some of these freshmen, it's all like with last year's season, it gets something to get to 100 wins right now. Last year's season where some kids had 15 matches, 20 matches, something like. I mean, I don't know the exact number. I don't really. Or last season, I don't even want to say last year. Last season, getting to 100 wins already wasn't an easy task, and now take that season where we had a quarter of it, and kids are still getting there. I think that also just tells you how good Blevins is right now. That junior 100 wins already, knocking off big name guys like Brant Faserman. I mean, I've always been high on Brant. I still am. Wrestled really tough, and like I said, Brant's a tough kid. And he's still like you said, Brant's a tough kid and was still able to keep that match close. I think that's a tale of a really good kid, is that even though Ethan Blevins looked phenomenal that weekend and just was clearly the better wrestler that day, right? Like, I don't know if we had that same result if they wrestle 10 times. but even like Brant was able to keep that close, was able to keep it exciting. It was probably the most exciting final there, or I'd say.
I would agree.
I would say it's the most exciting final. I mean, obviously getting to see Jeremiah Price, getting to see him wreck people is always so much fun. And him just literally push the pace in every single match and just dog on people is always fun to watch, right? That's always fun and exciting. But Blevins definitely shocked us. Was really impressive. The other takeaway that I have was Aiden Lafferty.
Yeah, so good, right?
Fines looked so good. And I'm excited to kind of keep an eye on him. He had a big takedown that we shared on our Instagram that somebody commented and tagged Presbyterian. So I'm curious to see if there's a little bit of a hint there that Aiden might be heading to Presbyterian, or they might be looking. I'm not sure. He's still uncommitted, if I'm not mistaken.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know. So if anybody knows anything about that, y'all can let us know. But those are my two big things for the Tiger. But like you said, the biggest one is that Ethan Blevins is the real deal.
No, it's another one that I almost forgot. There was only two guys who won the Tiger and the Holy Angels, and that was Jeremiah Price, who you mentioned already. And we know there's levels to this, man. He showed he was so good. So good. He beat a state runner-up in the Tiger finals handily, and then beat a state champ handily in the Holy Angels finals. But Jaden Dobeck was the other one, and Dobeck won a weight at both the Tiger and the Holy Angels. I mean, he beat Maxwell Keel in the semis and a kind of a controversial match. But he came on top of that one.
Was that the one right there in the semis that
on the mat I was on? At the end? Yeah.
It was over on your mat. Yeah, we were split up for the semis. It was over on your mat, and it went down. If I'm not mistaken, it went down to not the ultimate tiebreaker, not like the ultimate ride out.
The alternating ride outs.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It was top bottom overtime.
And then he won a really good bracket at Holy Angels, and he had a win over Joseph Locke in the Tiger finals, and then he wins a really good bracket at Holy Angels as well. So he came out to me. If we would have done a holiday wrestler of the break, I would have said Jaden Dobeck was the wrestler of the break. He came away to me.
With that being said, though, so Dobeck did win a Holy Angels title, right?
He did.
You had somebody else picked at that weight.
I did.
And we both did, so we were both wrong. So, shout out to Dobeck. We always say prove us wrong. Like we want you guys to prove us wrong. Like if we don't pick you, it's nothing against you. It's not that we don't want you to win. It's just it's an opinion. It's a projection. And you proved us wrong, like we say to. But Alan Staub from Cape Fear had our back. Was that the Jolly Roger?
I think Boneyard Bash.
Yeah, I think it was the Boneyard Bash. You're right. It was at the Boneyard Bash. And he comes out and makes our pick correct just a week later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So not to take anything away from Dobeck, but I do want to give Staub a shout out for that's a big time win.
Yeah, big time win. Way to rebound from kind of I don't want to say disappointing Holy Angels. I'm sure it's disappointing to him. It's not what he wanted. The brackets at the Holy Angels tournament are just so stacked, like every single one of them. But just a great win, way to and rebound off a performance he probably wanted that one back pretty bad. He stopped loss on the championship side to a guy you're going to see tomorrow, Caleb Moore of Bandies. So big win for him over Dobeck.
Like he is on fire right now.
Yeah, who, like I said, Dobek to me was the wrestler of the holiday break. If I picked one guy, that was the guy to me.
For in-state guys, yes. For out-of-state guys, the we're still going to claim as a North Carolina kid because, like
Yeah,
we
man.
said off air, he repped North Carolina at Super 32. And we've said it before, if you move away and you are a North Carolina wrestler, we're still going to support you. We're still going to be, fans. We're still going to want you to succeed. But Joe Seeley, Wyoming Sims, Joe Seeley, the kid is an absolute monster.
He's jumped levels, man, since he's jumped levels since he's gotten to Sem.
And I
No
know that we
joke.
say
Like,
this a
it's good.
lot about a lot of kids. But I would say, please, 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 to every single coach in North Carolina, do whatever we can to bring him back.
Yeah, get this kid
college-wise.
back. Yes.
College-wise, look, we're not promoting recruiting. Okay, let's just let me specify here. Let me make sure I get this right. College coaches, bring him back. I don't know if, I don't know if there's a better prospect right now. I think he might be the top prospect ever come out of North Carolina already.
Yeah, I mean, he's there. I mean, he won the Beast of the East with a major decision over in the finals over a nationally ranked kid. I can't remember where the kid he beat was ranked. I think it was somewhere like in the 11 range is the kid he beat. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but that kid was in on a single, and Joe kind of stepped aside and grabbed a single of his
step
own.
over, kick out, turn back in for that low single again, like dirt.
And then in the Beast in the Powerade finals, he was wrestling the Blair Academy kid and just put it on him. Yeah. And his pace is just unreal.
He's wrecking.
So just really excited to see him continue to have success and jump levels. We're all, like you said, we're always going to root for Joe. North Carolina kid. He was back training here over the holidays at some point, from what I understand, and just really want to see him succeed, no matter if he's wrestling North Carolina high school or Sem or whatever, and hope to see him D1 college in North Carolina. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. So, that's kind of that's the dream that we're gonna hold on to. Okay.
Yeah. But I have a feeling,
because I think it's gonna be one of those things that he's gonna have. I think he's gonna have some his door. I think he'll have
big.
Some Big Ten.
Some Big Ten schools are going to be looking at him. I know I saw somebody tweet something about him. I can't remember if it was one of the Flow guys or Intermat guys or something like that. And immediately I saw like John Reeder and Tony Ramos and like 3 other D1
right away.
D1 coaches liking the tweet. They're on Joe already. Yeah. So,
but another kid that I was really impressed with, and this was a pretty recent result, was Jackson Buck from Lumberton High School. And Coach Little pointed this out. Teague, shout out to you, Coach Little. We know they watch us a good bit. They've been a supporter from pretty much the jump. I mean, pretty much from the first few episodes.
Yeah, from episode 1.
Yeah, I mean, from episode 1, really, I think. But Jackson Buck asked at the I think it was at the Autism Super Duels.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it's URI Charter hosts them or hosts them.
Yeah, URI does.
Yeah, which we really wanted to be there. I know they reached out earlier this year, but like we said, we were like everybody else was. We were dealing with a little bit of COVID stuff, and so we weren't able to make it this year. Hopefully next year we might be able to make it down there. It seems like it's an awesome event. Really, really good cause. And we definitely want to support that tournament in the future this year. We just weren't able to. But like I was saying, Jackson Buck bumps up to wrestle Grayson Roberts from URI Charter, and not only beats him, but beats him pretty like, from what I understand, dominated the match, won 13-4, majored him. you can't teach that. From what I understand from Little is that like Buck wanted that match. It wasn't something that they said, hey, we're gonna bump you and like you don't have a choice, anything like that. Like he came up to them asking, hey, can I please bump? Can I please bump? Like, can I go up and wrestle this kid? Like, I want to wrestle him. And they said that they didn't know until like the 132, 138 range. And they finally looked down. They looked at him. He just gave him a thumbs up. And there's like, yeah, you like, it's yours. Bump, go wrestle. And he didn't let him down, went out, got the major. But that's something you can't teach. I just love hearing stories about that, especially from coaches, because they just get fired up about it, man. I mean, I know that Little was hyped about that because, like I said, you can't teach that, that drive to go out there and wrestle the best kid that you possibly can, and not care that you're bumping up to wrestle him and also to go up and major him.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when elite kids wrestle elite kids. And speaking of the super duels, there was a big result at heavyweight with Alex McCallop over Rylan Van of Cary, defending state champ. So that could swing the 4A. I mean, McCallop now is the number 1 ranked 4A heavyweight. Van,
so I'm hearing a little birdie off in the corner somewhere that I don't want to get it too far into it because, like we've said, we're not really a news breaking show and podcast. If you guys tell us something, we normally wait until you guys come out and do it. But I do think that there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup at 4A heavy. Okay. And,
all right.
And whenever that shakeup comes, if it does happen, they are my pick to win a 4A state title right now. And it won't change.
That's pretty bold because McCallop
will beat McCallop and they will beat Van.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see what you're talking about, I guess. So speaking of elite kids,
bonus them.
Wow. Oh, I don't know what Red's talking about. He's pretty bold right now.
Just saying. And I think it'll lock up I don't know. All right, I can't. I'm saying too much. We'll wait and see.
No, stop talking.
Whenever that result comes in, and we can talk about it more, we'll talk about it. But like I said, we don't want to be the show that breaks stuff. So yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of elite kids versus elite kids like McCallop and Van and Roberts versus Buck, let's talk a little more about Holy Angels. Let's kind of go down the way. The one recap we didn't get to was the finals recap. We covered that as I felt like as much as we could. We talked about it in our Instagram videos. You were traveling, you were on vacation. I was doing some stuff at home with family, had a bunch of family in town. So the second day and then the day after was kind of like the big family days for us, which made it hard to cover as much as I could here. But so let's just talk a little bit about the finals. 106, we saw Jackson Rawling take his first loss of his high school career to another freshman from Virginia. Not much to say about the final. I mean, he just kind of got beat in every position. Doesn't change my pick as him as the state champ at 4A 106. The other kid's just really good too. That's kind of how I felt about it. 113, big final between Cameron Stinson and Cooper Davis of Cox Mill. This was a huge tournament for Cooper Davis, man. Kind of just really putting a stamp on like, hey, this. I think this is
talked about it off air.
Potential state final right here.
Yeah, we talked about it off air. Was I knew that Stinson is the man at 113. Like he continuously proves it. Has been wrecking almost everyone. Cooper Davis is the real deal. He is solid, and I don't want to say that I didn't know that he was that good, but I didn't know he was that good. 6'5" with Cam Stinson. That's a tight match. I didn't get to see it, but that's a tight score with someone from Stinson. That is a absolute hammer. And Stinson coming off a 5-1 win over Nininger in the semis.
Yeah, big win. Nininger is
Nininger.
Nationally ranked. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong. But he's nationally ranked, really tough. So Stinson with an awesome tournament.
Yeah.
Man, I talked about Dobek as the wrestler of the break. I mean, that win alone for Stinson kind of put him in the contention for that as well. I just went Dobek, but Stinson's so good. I can't wait to see him keep rolling in his career. He's going to do big things for our state.
I'm excited.
And then another potential state final preview. Now, there's a guy out there named Ian Fritz that I mentioned earlier that I think might break this up here a little bit. You had Matt Rowland over Trevor Freeman. Freeman was a state finalist as a freshman last year at 3A. They're up at 4A this year as A.L. Brown. And Rowland just did what Rowland's been doing for a long time now. Just dominated in every position. Yeah, dominated in every position. It wasn't that close, to be honest. Right. It doesn't change my view of how good I think Freeman is. I just think
there's levels.
I just think, Rowland's just that good right now.
Right.
And then
126. I think we were right.
Samuel over Luna.
We both picked Samuel. I did think that the Hunter Gundry result, though, I didn't know it was going to be 8-0. I thought that'd be a little bit tighter. And then we don't know with Luna. Hope everything's good there. Hope he's healthy. Had a big win over Reese in the semis from Avery County. Yeah,
definitely. And Kyle Monteperto doing Monteperto things, winning 7-2 over Marcus Jackson. Jackson just couldn't figure out a way to score from his feet, to be honest. Right. And Monteperto continues
which is normally
to
where
impress
Jackson's
me.
Really good at. Mm-hmm. Jackson's normally super slick from his feet. But I think after seeing Monteperto in person at the grapple, dude, he's just so good in every position, and he doesn't get out of position. That's just super tough to open up and do anything with. But what really is I don't want to say it shocked me, but the Jackson side, the top side of this bracket was really interesting with Otto Hernandez knocking off Riley Merchant 8-6 in the quarters.
Merchant's tough.
Sorry, not in the quarters.
I told people that was going to be a tough quarter. Round of 16.
Yeah, round of 16. Round of 16. And then, and then on the other side, you've got Brant Fagerman and Eli Murray, pulling out a 4-3 win over Fagerman. I think that's pretty big. That's huge in the 4A race right there for that title. But what's even bigger here is Marcus Jackson picking up the fall over Aldo Hernandez.
Yes,
I'm big on Aldo Hernandez. I know you're a really big fan of Jackson, and that's huge. But also Jackson knocking off Eli Murray. Jackson had to go through a gauntlet to get there. Monteperto is just a monster. But then on the other side, Kuntz over Jaden Nowell from Robbinsville. I did not see that going that way.
No, and Nowell ended up not placing because he lost to Merchant. So, and check out Brant Fagerman's backside run. He goes bananas on the backside, and he ends up avenging his loss to Eli Murray for third. Yeah. He wrestles lights out on the backside.
Love to see that. But, I mean, Monteperto is if anyone argues that he is not the top guy in our state right now, I think you're insane.
They're wild.
Fall, Tech fall, and then 7-2 in the finals over a kid that Marcus Jackson is a animal. So Monteperto, like you said, just does Monteperto things.
I feel like the thing about Monteperto too is he's always been super slick. Now he's gotten even more physical as far as his hand fighting goes, and the way he's wrestling is a little bit more physical, a little bit meaner than it has been. Maybe
in college.
He's a 25. He's a 25 for his all 4 years. Yeah. That's how I feel at least.
Yeah.
So 138, you had Dylan Layton of Indian Land, South Carolina, beating our man JT Richards from Lake Norman. Richards looked really good, beat the Giannis Charles kid of Clover. And
who knocked off Bonacore from Laney.
Yes, yeah. So Richards was in the match. Leighton just a little slicker. Actually, and Leighton and Charles met in the Bearcat finals in South Carolina, and Leighton came on top of that one. So, and then 145, Greg Merriman kind of continues his stellar season. I think him and Jacob Woodburn right now are the 1-2 at 145. That's the match I kind of want to see the most as far as at that weight. He did a great job over his Tennessee opponent, Max Norman, who's just a freshman. So that's interesting. Though this weight was filled with a bunch of out-of-state kids doing really well.
Yeah, it was.
I noticed though, everybody should.
I mean, the top two there was Thomas from Laney and Merriman meeting in the semis there from North Carolina at least. And I think I think Fight went out with an injury.
Yeah. He was out there. He wasn't able to continue as far as we know, and then but everybody should check out Jacob Price there, 7th place. I'm telling you guys, he's gonna win 2A 145. And then Josh Frankenkrog from Metrolina Christian is an independent school state champ. So don't sleep on our independent school guys. We got a couple that are really good with this Frankenkrog, and then Caleb Campos just pinned Jack Jarvis in 2 minutes and 30 seconds this last weekend. And then Hudson Jones is at heavyweight for Charlotte Christian. And then we all know Trey Wilfong as well. So those 4 guys are really good. So especially Caleb Campos. That's probably my favorite private school kid now. I mean, Penn and Jack Jarvis should tell you all that needs to be said. So,
no, for sure.
And then we already talked about Jeremiah Price beating Zach Courageous a little bit. We didn't say Zach's name, but he beat Zach Courageous 10-3. It was close in the first. I think out of the first it was 0-0, and then man, the one that we were saying about Monteperto is that he's gotten a lot more physical. I feel like Price is that too. Like, he's always been slick, been really tough, but this past year,
pace,
he's just
his pace. He's
just wearing people out.
Like, he hand fights you, and he hand fights you to death. Like, he just beats on you. But man, from this bracket, like, I think we all knew that Price was going to do this, right? I mean, like, everyone. I think everyone saw that, and if you didn't, you probably coach against him. But Jackson Buck over Tristan Cotto from Laney is a big result there.
Jackson Buck over Davis Freeze for 3rd is huge.
It is. And then, but Courageous sticking Freeze in the semis is huge as well.
Courageous is so good.
Yes,
Courageous is so good.
He's
just because he didn't beat Price there doesn't chill my girl on how good Courageous is. So good.
Yeah.
I think, too, to me, another thing is that Central Academy's Colin Lutz in 7th place, that could be a big factor in the 3A team race.
Yeah.
And as well as Logan Leitner, the kid he beat, that's 8th. He's 12-10, but he's going to be a guy for Hickory Ridge, who Hickory Ridge was kind of the sensation for me of Holy Angels, that we can't count them out at the 4A ranks. And we'll talk a little bit about them when we get to the team ranks. But 160, we talked about Jaden Dobeck and Caleb Moore, their final. It was a pretty solid match. I feel like Dobeck kind of won a couple positions that won him the match there. But Dobeck had just a monster couple of weeks there over break.
Yeah.
And then 170, Tomas Brooker, man, what a weight this was. I mean, you had Kyler Pickard, you had Aiden Curry, you had Alex Hopper, you had Doug Bowles, you had Seth Blackledge, and Tomas Brooker comes out on top.
Yeah.
This kid's good, monster. Man. He flew up the big board. I released the new big boards. He's up to number 6 in his class. Man, right now he's my pick to win 4A 170.
Ooh.
So what a weight.
Yeah.
what a weight. And I heard I still haven't seen the match yet, but the Pickard Curry semifinal I heard was wild. So I got to check that one out.
Right. I'm going to see that one either.
182, Brady Ross loses 6-4 to Jamapello. He's from out-of-state school. Man, that kid looked impressive, though. He pinned two of our North Carolina state champs before he beat Brady Ross. So
yeah,
Ross hung in there and wrestled well. The other kid was just really tough and solid in all positions, and Brady just couldn't really get to his attacks, which kind of just led that whole match. So
right. The result of this bracket for me, though, is the Savoy New Kyle Fink final there, or not final, but quarter. Fink winning 9-8 there.
Yeah, impressive win by Fink. But the crazy part is New comes back for third, where Fink had to settle for fifth. So it's kind of an ironic and sort of way that New outplaces Fink, even though Fink got the individual head-to-head win.
Yeah.
And McPherson from Metro Atlanta Christian's another private school kid. He plays fourth here. That he did really well. And then, so to me, what's wild is the 7th, 8th place match in this tournament, in this bracket, shows the craziness of this tournament in particular. Gavin Hartzell, returning state champ, over Rob Hyder, returning state finalist.
Yeah.
For 7th and 8th. That
right.
shows you how tough this tournament is, right?
Like, of this tournament.
Yeah. And then 195, a match we wanted to see. We didn't get to see it. We hope you heal up, Cage, and just want to see the match, but it didn't happen, and things happen like that. So both guys,
especially in a tough tournament like this, like things happen. Things happen in any tournament, but man, Devin Bell looked solid. 30-second fall, minute 24 fall, 2 minutes 58 fall, just wrecking people all the way. One impressive thing that I don't know if I'm a homer for him, like everyone will say that I am, but Andrew Machiavello from Sun Valley, getting to 195 here, knocks off Toussaint from Olympic with a fall, and then in overtime knocks off Quintez Shipman from Lumberton, falls to Cage 3-2, which is nothing, to be ashamed of there. Cage is an absolute monster, and really, from what I understand, had a great match against Cage. So I mean, Machiavello looks awesome right now. I'm really excited to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, Sam Cowler of Cox Mill with the win over Machiavello. He looks really good as well. So it's a really tight there with those top 4A guys. I'm excited to see kind of how it plays out. The one guy, Caleb Beatty from Corinth Holders, coming back just recently here. So he's kind of the man to beat.
If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes,
just
committed App State. So just committed. So great get by App State. That's a really good one right there. And then 220, the MOW of Holy Angels, which that says something in itself. Carson Floyd, tech falling the number 2 kid. Yeah, tech falling the number 2 ranked kid in the state at his weight at 4A. So very impressive. Didn't have a close match at all in a monster bracket. So no one's touching him at 220 right now. And then 285 didn't shake out the way that I don't think anybody thought.
This was a shake up that no one saw happening.
Amari Daniels goes pin over Sakari Morrison and then pin over Levi Andrews. What a tournament for Amari Daniels.
Daniels said, I'm here. Y'all need to – you can't miss him, okay? Like, he is a true 285, like, old school heavy. You can't miss him. He said, I'm here to stay. Man, but one that I really was glad we got to see was Fourier Hardy again.
Yes, and Fourier coming out on top of that one. And then
Avenges his state finals loss last year. I think we'll see it again. We're going to see that matchup again in the year. But man, Daniels, I know he didn't end up winning the title. I know Fourier, like Navy commit, ends up winning the title. But Daniels put together a tournament, man. Knocking off Sakari Morrison and then knocking off Levi Andrews.
I got a hot take about that one.
I know. And look, Levi Andrews wins that match 9 times out of 10, I think.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That's my hot. I think if they re-wrestle that one 9 more times, Levi Andrews wins 9 times by fall.
And that's nothing against Daniels. We just think that's how good that's just how good Levi Andrews is.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's also the thing with being a heavyweight is that things can change like that, and you can't put yourself in bad positions, especially against a monster like Daniels, right? Like especially against a physical guy like that. And I think it's a learning experience for Levi Andrews, and I don't think he puts himself anywhere near that position again. Like to I guess pull somebody straight on top of you, just to get in a weird scramble. And like heavyweights, that's how it happens, right? You get into a weird scramble as a heavyweight, and you can get stuck. It's kind of just how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how Daniels, I do know that his confidence really shot up from this, which is a big thing. That's a big thing to have. And so especially coming from a tournament like this is an awesome tournament where a lot of guys come into this and their confidence goes down a little bit, right? Like they kind of get humbled a little bit. A lot of coaches use this tournament of, hey, we're going to figure out where we are so that we know how hard we need to work to get where we want to be. And so his was kind of the opposite, right? Like he came into this tournament and knocked off 2 of the biggest names we have in the state. So I'm excited to see him build on this, but also super excited to see Levi Andrews back to doing what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like saying that I'm not saying Amari Daniels shouldn't have won that particular match. He won that match, and I'm not even saying like he's not going to be a factor for a heavyweight, because I think he is.
I mean, he had to put him away and get the pin.
Yeah, he proved it with 2 wins over 2 state champs in a row.
Yeah.
And I hope he's all right after his injury in the finals there. But I just think Levi Andrews wins that match for rematch. But Amari's going to be right there to.
I think he's going to be one heavyweight that could give him a run, but we'll see if it happens. Yeah. I know you. Yeah. I saw that. But.
So let's put a bow on Holy Angels and let's talk about the girls' side. Now, someone on the live stream when I was kind of doing a recap of I think the semis or like a preview of the finals maybe asked me about the girls. And to be honest, at the time, I hadn't got a chance to look at the girls at all because it was all I could handle to do the boys stuff with just all the family stuff I had going on. But I've got a chance to review it. I want to talk a little bit about the girl stuff. Ainsley Fink continues to show why she's one of the best in our state right now. Pound for pound, one of the best girls. She dominates her way through. Looks really good doing it. I think Megan Rowland from Pinecrest, she's probably the best freshman girl in our state right now.
She's got a very, very bright future.
Yeah, good wrestling family, obviously. So looking pretty good. Another good freshman is Jasmine Palama of URI Charter, which URI Charter has a history of having solid girls there. But obviously only one school has two boys state qualifiers that are female though. Do you know the school? Rhett Hoy. What's the school? It's First Flight. It's First Flight. It's first flight.
I couldn't take that from him. I couldn't take that from him. Okay.
Yeah, everybody should know that. It's First Flight High School. So
in
Lake North,
I don't think that there's a lot of people that don't know it. What?
Well, some people don't know. I don't know. They call me out and say I don't give the East Coast enough love, and they forget that I'm an East Coast guy. But back to the girls, Lake Norman. Lake Norman's women's program has been super impressive to me. It's really young, but they're turning out some really good girls, and we shouldn't be surprised based on their boys program, just the way they're producing. But another girl who is in the Holy Angels, who's one of the top girls in our state, our junior class for our girls is really good. You have Aurora Eford, and you have this girl, Savannah Bramhall, who looks really impressive. She's a two-time state champ, but she looked really impressive here. Quick falls every round, and she's been traveling all over. I'm ready for her and Aurora Eford to take that next step. They're both Parkwood girls and wrestle in some like the top national stuff, like the cadet nationals and stuff like that, because they're on that level. So she looks really good there. They're obviously in that junior class. It's also Reagan Riddick. So looking really good as well. So, and then speaking of the girls, shout out to the shirt you're wearing, our local program, North Henderson, with Coach Williams and Coach Oy and Coach Doc. Their girls won the Fendetti Richardson Brawl in Tennessee this past weekend. So bringing home the team trophy for North. Really happy to see that. I know Coach Williams and Coach Oy and Coach Doc are super invested in bringing girls wrestling as a official sanctioned sport in North Carolina. And it's really great to see them bring home a team trophy from an out-of-state tournament.
I mean, just leading the way. I mean, they're putting their money where their mouth is with starting Relentless Wrestling Club. I still believe the only all-girls wrestling club in the state.
Yes.
And just leading the way, doing big things. We love that program. Great people. They do it the right way. But also speaking of another team that does things the right way, Battle of the Knights went on. Robbinsville put a beat down on North. It's tough saying that as I wear a North shirt. But Robbinsville looks so good.
Yes, they do. And that was
so good.
And that was without Cage Williams. And that kind of, we'll talk a little bit about that even more. It's eye-opening how much they beat North by going into our team rankings. I can't wait to talk about the 1A section, about kind of what my thoughts are, tournament team-wise, dual team-wise, what's going to happen there.
Let's get straight into it then. Let's go straight to it. So we did catch a little bit, not heat, but a little bit of conversation started. So we use the Southeast Wrestling rankings, mainly because we feel like it gives us a good bit of like conversation area to just kind of talk it out and kind of argue a little bit, because normally we don't agree. And so we do know one thing that we do want to point out is that we do know that North Carolina did adopt the ranked wrestler team rankings for the state duels and for the playoffs. So the official rankings for state duels will come from that. And we can start looking into that as well. We always want to make sure that we support Jason Fulmer from Southeast Wrestling, because he does so much for the sport. Especially what he's built it as, Southeast Wrestle. He covers Southeast part of the country more than anybody else and does an amazing job. And he built this system that coaches get to vote on what they think the rankings are. And then he counts all the votes. It's a point system and puts it together, does an awesome graphic for it. Has the North Carolina State Tournament in the background. It's all in the details with him. Everything he does, everything just looks awesome. And so we always want to use that. We're not taking anything away from the the ranked wrestler rankings. But we like using Jason's because it's somebody that does a lot for the sport. Is a great guy, has supported us since before we started, you know. I know you can say more on that, but you know, so if we do put out that, you know, it's the number one team and this and that, we're going to try and start doing better of the best way that I can kind of, I guess, make it make sense in my head is, remember, like, before, I know you don't know a lot about college football. I know we're a wrestling podcast, so I won't go too far into it, but they used to have like the coaches poll and then the FCS rankings. And so like, you know, you could be the number one in the coaches poll, but the number two in the FCS or the FBS rankings. And so it's kind of the same concept.
I kind of equate it to like Intermat has their rankings, Flow has their rankings, the coaches rank, right? And we personally like Jason's rankings. I like them for two reasons. One, to support Jason and Southeast Wrestle.
Yes.
No one does more for the sport in Southeast than he does. He covers it all. He gave me a shot, Frank as well, to start writing on his website. But Jason let me start publishing some articles on his website, put the big boards on his website, and Stella lets me do some stuff on there as well. So number one, because he supports us, we support him, and he's the man. Number two, I think it's a really cool concept, right? Yes. The coaches rank. It's literally what the coaches think, who are the guys in the trenches, right? So that to me is cool. I think it's funny every time someone on Instagram comments to Jason, tries to like throw shade his way, like he made these rankings, and he's literally just making the awesome graphic. It's the coaches, right?
Right.
So let's get down to it. Let's talk rankings.
Let's get into it. You want to go tournament teams first? So we'll go one. You want to start 1A and into 4A, or what do you want to do?
Let's go 4A down, and we'll go dual and then
you want to
tournament.
Argue really fast. Got it. You want to argue pretty quick out the gate.
Yeah, let's argue about this 4A dual ranking. I'll read the dual ones. You read the tournament ones.
Okay.
All right. So we're only going to read the top 5. Jason has the top 10 and honorable mentions on the website. So go to SoutheastWrestling.com. He has it right there on his front page. So the 5th ranked team in 4A dual is Northwest Guilford. 4 is Lake Norman. 3, Mooresville. 2, Pinecrest. Number 1 is Laney. And right out the gate, I don't agree with the coaches. I didn't agree last time. I still don't agree. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Pinecrest should still be should be the number 1 ranked dual team. I'm not arguing about the tournament.
And we're talking rankings. We're talking rankings here.
Rankings.
We're not talking about who we think the top team is or who we think is going to win a state title this year. We're talking what the rankings should be. Lake Norman should be 1.
You're wild. They're down at 4. They're where they should be.
I don't understand. I don't understand how they dropped. Like what they do wrong.
Yeah.
I don't get
See,
it.
I think part of it is that a lot of people forget like difference between tournament and duels. I'm not saying the coaches did. I'm saying like I think tournament ranking, they saw the tournament rankings of Holy Angels maybe, and it influenced their vote about it, or that they just are projecting instead of ranking what they think the lineup should be. But for me, the big argument I have is, how do you have the number 2 ranked team as Pinecrest and 1 is Laney when they literally wrestled and Pinecrest won? Straight up, Pinecrest, number 1 team in the state. Now, does that mean I'm picking to win a dual state title? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But as of right now, what the results are, Pinecrest should be the number 1 team in the state. Period. The end. And I think Rhett Hoy finally agrees with me. He's there. I brought him to the Pinecrest side.
Man, I still think Lake Norman has done nothing wrong to drop from 1 to 4, in my opinion, or from 2 to. What were they at last time?
They were number 2, I think, and Pinecrest was 3rd.
2, yeah. I don't know what Laney has done.
Yes, yeah, because you were arguing last time that Lake Norman should just move up and Pinecrest should go Lake Norman, Pinecrest, Laney is what you said, and I've been adamant from the get-go, Pinecrest, number 1. Yeah. Listen, Pinecrest guys.
I think you are closer now than what you were last time. But I am sticking to it. Lake Norman 1, Pinecrest 2, Laney 3, Northwest Guilford 4, Mooresville 5.
Now I like the
I really
3,
like
4,
Northwest
5.
Guilford and 5. I'm
Yeah,
glad they deserve being top 5, especially with the win over Huff. So
yes, I think they can even creep. Yeah, I think they can creep up, right? Oh yeah, they hit us up on the Instagram DMs real fast when they beat Huff there. But I will adamantly disagree that Pinecrest should be the number 1 team in the state, and I think you're with me. And Pinecrest guys, I think it was at the Tiger when you guys were kind of giving Rat Hoy the eye, giving him the cold shoulder. He realized
I really feel like they did. Like nobody, Pinecrest people were talking to you. Nobody, like they don't want to talk to me.
He realized he messed up, and I was right. He realized.
Anyways, let's go down to tournament team rankings.
Right off the bat,
let's go down to tournament team rankings.
All right, go for it.
Because I don't agree here. So we have the 5. We got Pinecrest at 5, Cardinal Gibbons at 4, Lake Norman at 3, Mooresville at 2, and Laney at 1. How's Northwest Guilford and Hickory Ridge not in the top 5?
Well,
especially Northwest
because
Guilford.
that would make 6. So who you trying to drop out of there? So here's the thing. Here's why. No way.
Northwest Guilford.
No,
Northwest Guilford at 4. Northwest Guilford at 5. Pinecrest. No. Mooresville at 4. Pinecrest at 3. Lake Norman at 2 and Laney at 1.
No.
For me.
No.
Tournament team.
Okay.
Yeah. Northwest Guilford
here's
5.
The thing.
Pinecrest 4. Mooresville 3. Lake Norman 2. Laney 1.
Okay. Here's the thing. Most of these teams were in the same tournament and the Holy Angels, right? So this one should be sorted out, right? Like this should be kind of ranked based on the Holy Angels. So Laney 1, Mooresville 2 makes the most sense as far as Laney won the tournament by a whole bunch. Yes. It wasn't even close, right?
The tournament team is ridiculous.
Mooresville should be 2, right? And then I think 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah, let me change. Let me go Lake Norman 3, Mooresville 2. Because I don't want to project. If we're going rankings, I did say from the very beginning, I did say before Holy Angel that I thought that was going to answer every tournament team question we had. So I will say Laney 1, Mooresville 2, Lake Norman 3, Pinecrest 4.
So here's my deal.
Dude, now I'm second thinking Cardinal Gibbons and Northwest Guilford.
Okay. So here's let me look it up real quick. I'll reach up deeper.
When Ryan starts typing, the connection goes down, everybody. So just
go back to there.
Bear with us a little bit.
So here's the thing. You know how I was just like finding one day rainbow team. My bad, guys. Anyway, all right.
All right, sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties there. Brian ruined his internet, so we're good now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. So the Holy Angels, like you said, gave us the exact answers of what the tournament team rankings should be. Okay. Laney is right now the best tournament team in the state. Mooresville is your number 2. Hickory Ridge is your number 3. Hickory Ridge. They had a tournament balled out. They finished 3rd. 4, Cardinal Gibbons. 5, Lake Norman. That's the way it should be. Now, here I am, Mr. Pinecrest to be the number 1 dual team in the state. and I have them out of the top 5 for tournament team rankings. But that's the way it is. Dual teams, tournament teams, different. So I got it. Laney, Mooresville, Hickory Ridge, Cardinal Gibbons, Lake Norman. Now, saying that, I will say that Lake Norman is the scariest team to Laney when it comes to the state tournament. I will say that right now, that Lake Norman is the team I feel like that will challenge Laney more than any other.
Right.
But that's the way it should be rankings-wise. Laney, Mooresville, Hickory Ridge, and Cardinal Gibbons, then Lake Norman. Just because they were all the same tournament. They could have just looked at that and then voted that way, but
give or take, yeah, you're right. But let's go down to 3A.
So 3A. All right, 3A dual teams.
Or
number 5,
topic.
North.
Oh, my bad.
Good. Yeah, I mean it's looking that way, isn't it? I mean,
Man,
good night.
So good. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, number 5, North Iredale. Number 4, Cata. 3, St. Stephen's. 2, Union Pines, and 1 is Ford. Which I don't think there's any arguing at this point that Fred T. Ford is the number 1 3A dual team in the state.
There isn't.
Right? 0. They might be the number 1 dual team, period.
I don't think I disagree with this list at all.
No, I'm in with that. Yeah, that's the teams for me. North Iredale's been kind of a little sensation for me as far as I didn't really expect them to be as good as they are.
Bears, I think could flip out.
Yeah, right now the way North Iredale's performing, I kind of pick them as in a dual team format.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good at dual team there in 3A.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling on to our tournament team rankings.
So the 3A tournament team rankings here, we got at number 5, Cape Fear, 4, Stuart Kramer, 3, Central Cabarrus, 2, Central Academy of Technology, CATA, and number 1, Ford. Ford will go tournament team champs, dual team champs. I don't think it's a question, unless CATA just puts it together. I don't think Central Cabarrus beats either CATA or Ford.
All right, so if listen, I'm just saying Ford is amazing, but I think it's gonna be tight here. CATA's gonna have Curry, Monteperto.
So here's my thing that's Ross. Different with CATA and Ford. I think it's the same point you're getting to, and I might take back what I said. Ford, no doubt, dual team champs. I think someone's gonna have to hit them with a sledgehammer to beat them in a dual team, in a duel. Central Academy has some hammers. Like Ford has good kids. Ford has really good kids. And that's why it's such a good dual team is that all of them are pretty tough. They remind me, the team that really reminds me of Ford is Bandy's in 2A, which we'll talk about next. But all the kids are good and all the kids are tough, right? Like they're all tough wrestlers. None of them really get pinned easily. All the things you need in a dual team. But CATA has the star power. Like they've got the firepower and what they also have is the bonus points. So I think I might have to put my foot in my own mouth and go CATA 1, Central Cabarrus 2, Ford 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
First Flight 5.
That's what I'm saying. Stop sleeping on First Flight.
I don't know.
Stop sleeping on First Flight, coaches.
I don't know. Hold on. Union Pines at 5.
Oh, get out of here. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3, you could probably put in any order and you're not wrong. Yeah. Right? I think it just depends on the way it shakes out. I think Ford's going to wrestlebacks are going to be super important to Ford's title. And then for CATA and
I didn't think about that. CATA has the champs, Ford has the placers.
Yeah. And the deal is going to be too, can CATA and Central Cabarrus find the guys to get them points on the backside while their big guns scoring points on the championship side. That's going to be the deal, because Ford's going to probably qualify more than anybody else. Now, I think everybody knows by this point who I'm picking, because there's going to be 75 points from the Baglios and Marcus Jackson. 25 piece. That's a lot of points for any team to make up. And if they just find 2 or 3 other guys that can score them 15, 20 points total together, they're up in that 100 range, which is pretty good. Kata, same thing. They got Fight and Curry and Ross and Monteperto. They're going to score, upwards of 75, 100 points, just the 4 of them. And then but Ford's got some big guns too, with Carey and Burkett and Hunter Clark, going to try to look to rebound in the back half of the year here, and then Mejia too. So and Carter Floyd.
Man, you can't forget Floyd.
So they got some big guns too. On top of, they have these other guys coming through. So it's going to be close. I think everybody knows who I'm picking. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them in the top 3. I like Cape Fear in there. Stuart Kramer's earned themselves into the rankings as well. But coaches, I'm telling you, stop sleeping on my boys and lady Reagan Riddick from First Flight, man. First Flight, they're going to come to party at the state tournament. You watch.
I think I need more time for 3A, because I've sat here and changed my mind like 10 times while you were talking.
Rat Hoy, the ultimate flip-flopper.
Whoa. I don't know about any of that. Okay. You brought up some good points. Okay. I refuse to say you're right about any of them right now, but I need more time to think about 3A. So let's go 2A, where I'm very sure what's going to happen. Very sure.
This is all right. So here we go. Number 5, Trinity. Number 4, Mount Pleasant. Number 3, Bandy's. Number 2, West Lincoln. And Newton Conover is your number 1 dual team in the state, which West Lincoln just beat Newton Conover, and Bandy's has a win over West Lincoln.
Thank you.
So I think
tomorrow night 100% solves 2A duel. At least it's
Jason said the top 4 votes were really, really close. Between the top 4, between Mount Pleasant, Bandy's, West Lincoln, Newton Conover, it was like razor thin. And honestly, if Newton Conover would have beat West Lincoln, we would have had a 1 versus 2 showdown, and it would have been even more clear.
Yeah.
If Newton Conover beats Bandy's tomorrow night, it is chaos.
Yeah, I have no clue.
It's chaos.
If Bandy's, I still think that Bandy's is going to be your 2A dual team state champs. I think that they are literally built just like Ford, in a dual team. And I think that they are solid. I mean, just monsters. I mean, led by Kirkland, Levix, Burkett, Nix, Ballou, Moore, both Moores, Brooks, Evans, and Klein. I mean, man, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 kids that aren't ranked in the top 10 in that roster, right? And then, I mean, you've got a 1, a 3, a 2, a 4, a 3, and a 5.
Yeah, tomorrow night's duel is going to be hype.
I'm excited. I'm so pumped for it. I just, like I said, man, I don't know. Let's hear yours for dual team. Let me think.
I like Trinity, Mount Pleasant at the 5 and the 4. And then 3, 2, 1. I mean, obviously tomorrow night's going to really decide it. But knowing the results we know now, before we know the Newton Conover Bandy's result, I think it should go Newton Conover at 3, West Lincoln at 2, and Bandy's at 1. I'm finally coming around, Rat Hoy, to the Bandy's train. I think they'll beat Newton Conover tomorrow night, and I think Bandy's is going to come away at the end of the year as the dual state champs. I've finally come around and seeing it your way.
About time. Now let's talk about 4A again. No. So I'm okay with Trinity and Mount Pleasant at 5 and 4. I know that I'm gonna catch heat on this, but after looking into Bun might be 5.
Nope.
So we'll go Trinity 5, Mount Pleasant 4, Bandy's 1. Okay, Bandy's 1, no doubt. I don't know. I guess we have to go West Lincoln 2, Newton Conover 3. I think right, like if we're going rankings wise and not projection, I think it has to go Trinity, Mount Pleasant, Newton Conover, West Lincoln, Bandy's. I think if Newton Conover and West Lincoln wrestle again tomorrow, I think Newton Conover will win that match.
Man, the disrespect for Butch Ross and the West Lincoln
No,
team.
don't do that.
You just threw their way. Oh,
don't
come
do that.
at them, West Lincoln crew. Come at them.
Don't do that. All right. Coach Ross knows I love him, okay? I don't know. Bandy's they're gonna win a dual team state title there. Now where it really gets interesting is the tournament for me.
Mm-hmm.
So tournament at 5, we've got West Lincoln.
Yes.
4 Bunker Hill, 3 Newton Conover, 2 Bandy's, 1 Mount Pleasant. I already know you're going to keep Mount Pleasant at 1.
I am, because of the points that Chase Creighton, that Kyler Pickard, that David McEachran, and the Almond Boys are going to score them. And just like I was talking about,
what
with
about
Kata
the points of Bodie Kirkland? The points of Caleb Moore.
Yeah, that's 2.
The points of
like 6
Ian
guys.
Moore.
Yeah.
The points of Zach Evans.
Yeah.
The points of Austin Klein.
Yeah.
And the points of Bryson Burkett.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's why I still lean Mount Pleasant. Those guys are all great. Caleb Moore, amazing. Bodie Kirkland has proved to be the deal. He's the favorite with 2A 120 after his win over RJ James. But Creighton and Almond and McEachran and Kyler Pickard, they've already done that. Their points are already established. Like, their points are there. We already know they've been in the state finals, state champ, high state placer. All the other ones are more, we'll see. That's where they're ranked now. We'll see where their projections sits out. I think Mount Pleasant has more guaranteed points. Now, Bandy's is not far behind, though. That's not, I mean, it's close, but I'm going to go with Mount Pleasant.
I'm riding with my boys. I'm going Bandy's 1, Mount Pleasant 2, Newton Conover 3, West Lincoln 4, and Surrey Central 5.
Yeah. Surrey Central's going to score a lot of points. I agree. I would put Surrey Central probably up at 4, because Jeremiah Price alone might score like 28 points with his bonus point potential, and his brother Jacob's going to score a bunch of points too. So, I mean, they're going to be in the 50 range if they get a couple more kids. Like, there's Salazar kid that's at 113, and a couple more guys that are pretty decent. The state tournament score some points. They're going to be high. I think your top 3 are going to be Mount Pleasant, Bandy's, Newton Conover. It's just going to be some order, and I'm leaving Mount Pleasant because they're more guaranteed points. I
agree. The top 3 are interchangeable. I think that we are in a spot right now that we need to wait and see in a tournament team which 3 of those are really going to pull away.
And
I think so far it's been Bandy's.
Yeah, they looked really good. And I know Mount Pleasant and Bandy's were both at Holy Angels, but both teams kind of didn't have like their entirety of their
if I'm not mistaken, didn't Bandy's beat Mount Pleasant in a tournament earlier this season?
I believe so, actually. But let's see. Hold on.
I mean, I'm not 100%, so I can't really like go off the rail.
But I mean, if you want to go with Holy Angels, Holy Angels tournament format, Mount Pleasant outscored Bandy's at Holy Angels. So with probably their elite guys. So I think they've earned their number 1 ranking. Defending state champs outplaced them at Holy Angels. Newton Conover at 3 is good. I think Surrey Central can squeeze up there. Bunker Hill deserves to be in there. I think 2A is probably the most
wide open.
equal. You could see a bunch of different combinations.
Who's
going to
show up and show out in 2A. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I'm going to ride with Bandies right now. They just haven't given me, they have not given me a reason not to. So
yeah,
row the boat.
I hear you. Hey, you've convinced me on the dual team. You will not convince me on the tournament though. Yeah. All right, let's talk dual team 1A. This is getting spicy here.
Yeah.
Rosewood is number 5. Mount Airy is number 4. 3, URA Charter. 2, Robbinsville. 1, Avery County. I'm not going to lie, Rhett. I was a little surprised the coaches kept Avery at 1.
So here's why I think the next rankings that come out, we won't have Avery at 1. I think something will happen in a duel or in a result that will prove that Robbinsville should be at 1 right now. The way they've been competing, the results they've been putting out, to me, and it stinks because Avery hasn't done anything wrong. They're just from what it looks like, they're banged up. Like they just haven't had their best guys, and that's what we have to look at is what they've been doing, right? And so if that is the case and they are banged up, we really hope that everyone gets healthy. Because Avery, beginning of the year, Avery was to me the best team in the state across any classification. I've said that to you off air a few times, I feel like, but they had an argument that they could be one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah.
But right now, and it just stinks, and that's just kind of like we said with Holy Angel. Like the season's long. It's a grind, and it happens.
Yeah, it's Avery's probably had the worst luck of any team right now as far as injury, and then they had COVID protocol issues this past week with the whole Avery Ford duel and everything that happened there. So bad luck. I mean, they haven't done anything wrong to lose that number 1 ranking. They haven't really lost, right?
Yeah,
they lost a couple
and that's the tough thing.
Not,
that's why I say that right now you keep that's why I think that we keep Avery at 1 right now, because they haven't done anything to lose it, right? Like that's what we're saying with in 4A, right? That's your kind of excuse with keeping Pinecrest at 1 is that they haven't lost.
No. That's because they had the best elite win.
Okay.
They had the best elite win. Don't be using your
don't get
argument
loud over there, okay? Don't get loud. Yeah. Don't get loud, okay? No, I think right now, if we're projecting, if the season ended tomorrow in a dual team tournament tomorrow, I think we'd go Robbinsville, URA Charter, Avery. If everyone had to bring their best teams right now. But rankings, because that's what we have to look at, is what they've done. And I don't know. It's just it's tough to keep Avery at 1 knowing that they're banged up, man. So I feel like I want to make like 2 different sets here and go. So I might shock you with this. I'm gonna go Swain County at 5.
Yeah, I mean they deserve to. They look pretty good at grapple.
URA Charter at 3, 2 Robbinsville, 1 Avery County. And then if we really if we're talking about if we had a dual team tournament tomorrow in 1A, I think we'd go Swain County 5, Mount Airy 4, Avery 3, URA Charter 2, Robbinsville 1.
Man, it's tough. I don't know. I think right now you just put those 3 teams in a hat and pick one. If they wrestled Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you might get a 2-0 team on each of those days.
Is that how their roster is right now, or is that
how their roster is right now? Avery's 3rd, but results-wise, though, they haven't done anything wrong.
No.
So
that's why I think that by the time the next rankings come out, I don't know who'll be at 1, unless now if Avery even that time could get healthy, or I don't know if anyone's banged up. I don't know if it was COVID protocol. Like I don't know which is which there.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
we don't know specific guys, but
right. Hopefully, I mean it sounds terrible, but like hopefully, I mean, either way, hopefully everyone's healthy, right? But hopefully they're back in the lineup next week, right?
Yeah, hopefully soon. And
Or like that.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's why I almost think Avery should come down. Is Robbinsville and UR Charter have been beating the tar out of some really good 3A and 4A
They really
teams.
have.
So I don't know. It's a toss up dual team wise. Here I am calling you a flip flopper, and I can't make up my dang mind about this one.
So why don't we go to tournament teams then?
Tournament teams, man.
5 Rosewood, 4 Mount Airy. So the exact same. 5 Rosewood, 4 Mount Airy. No, sorry. UR Charter and Robbinsville flip here. So 5 Rosewood, 4 Mount Airy, Robbinsville 3, UR Charter 2, and Avery County 1.
And I think coaches really paid attention to the Holy Angels results here, because this is how they finished Avery County, URA Charter, Robbinsville at the Holy Angels tournament. Now, the difference is going to be Robbinsville did not bring their whole crew. I'm not sure if URA Charter did. It looked like they brought more guys than Robbinsville. Robbinsville only brought their top dogs. They didn't bring
we're going to find out really
guys
fast. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's this weekend. The James Orr.
It is.
James Orr, UR Charter is going to be there. If I'm not mistaken, Avery's going to be there. Robbinsville.
No, I don't think Avery's going to be there.
You don't think Avery's not going anymore?
No, I think it's just UR Charter, Robbinsville, I think.
Okay, well then we're going to have a massive answer from right there.
Yeah, that'll solve the UR Charter versus Robbinsville, and they're going to both have their full lineups in Robbinsville. Going to be hype. Because I think the difference between the two teams is, I don't know. I just kind of lean towards Robbinsville as far as their not elite studs like the Nowell and Fink and Cage Williams of the world, which I hope Cage is back in the lineup for this. But I think they're like the guys like the Luck Savage guys and Jacob Hall at 170. And Ainsley Fink wrestled in the ladies tournament, not the boys tournament for Holy Angels. So that's points too. Now, but like you said, it's going to get solved between the 2 and 3 teams this weekend at the James Orr for sure. Now, I gotta say it. I'm gonna catch some heat for it. UR Charter, stop coming at me and Rhett and saying you're gonna beat Avery in a tournament when Avery had Ethan Shell forfeit out from the quarters and not place, and they still finished ahead of y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, just throwing it out there. They didn't have their full lineup. They even forfeited out.
Yeah.
Pritz didn't place. Jordan didn't place 2 of their studs. We're going to score big points at the state tournament, and they still finished ahead. So tournament team wise, Avery County is clearly the best.
They're still one.
Period. The end.
Yeah,
the end. Even if they don't.
They proved it at the Holy Angel.
Yeah. So just saying, don't come at us with that. And I'm just saying, I just want to be clear, without some of their top studs and with kids forfeiting out because of injuries or whatever, or losing just not to place, they still finished ahead, and they'll be scoring some big points this state tournament, even if they don't have their full lineup.
Yeah.
Tournament team wise.
Yeah.
Tournament team wise. Now,
tournament team wise,
dual team wise, I can get with you on the dual team. Tournament team, don't come at me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna go Swain County 5, Mount Airy 4, Robbinsville 3, URA Charter 2, Avery 1.
Yep, that's where I'm at too. I think URA Charter is going to win the James Orr.
No.
Nope. You going Robbinsville?
Robbinsville. In that environment, Robbinsville, it's going to be crazy. I think that James Orr is going to look like a dual tournament, or it's going to look like a dual meet in the finals. It's going to be a lot of UR Charter, a lot of Robbinsville kids. And I think that Robbinsville at the Ville, that atmosphere, the atmosphere that Todd Odom has built down there in Robbinsville, the whole community's behind them there. It's awesome. They have a full army every tournament they go to, it seems like. I think Robbinsville wins the James Orr.
Did I say
With that
Uriah
being
Charles
said, I'm
can win?
swapping them. With that being said, I'm going I'm going Swain County 5, Mount Airy 4, Uriah Charter 3, Robbinsville 2, Avery 1.
Did I say Uriah Charles can win James Orr?
You did.
You convinced me. I'm changing my mind. I'm going with Todd Odom and the boys. They're going to win James Orr. But rankings-wise, right now,
Rankings-wise right now. Yeah.
Now. But after that, James Orr, Robbinsville going to take their place at number 2. And then, I still think the state tournament for 1A is not if Avery wins, it's by how much.
I'm not there anymore. I was.
Crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's by how much.
In a tournament team ranking.
Yes.
A tournament team. Okay. I don't know. I think Robbinsville matches up well that they can pull off some big points in weights that Avery's not as strong in, that I think they can make up some ground there.
All right. So I wanted to ask you this question, Rhett Hoy, since the beginning of our podcast. We got to end with this right here.
All
because
right.
132 was the best. I'll go first. 132 was the best weight at Holy Angels, right? And 132 was our favorite match at Tiger. So you got Ethan Blevins, you got Riley Merchant, you got Brant Fagerman, you got Luke Kunt, you got Eli Murray of Lake Norman. Who's going to come out on top in February? Who do you got? I'll go first. I'll put it down on paper right now. I'm going Eli Murray. Lake Norman is going to win 4A 132.
Ooh, man. Brant Fagerman, Huff.
I knew you were going to go. I knew it. I knew you were going to go Fagerman. So he's got Fagerman. I've got Murray. Who knows?
He's going to put it together. The Rogers brothers down at Huff, they're going to put it together with Fagerman. I see it. The schedule that he's wrestled this year. Yeah, that's my pick.
If you want to check out the rest of our state championship picks, turn into our Patreon account. We're going to throw our picks up on there. Mid-season state champ picks on our Patreon. Click on the support us section of our CarolinaTakedownTalk.com. Guys, as always, thank you for the support. Can't wait if you're going to be, and this might air after, but if you see Rhett at the Newton Conover Bandy's Duel tomorrow, say hey. Any place you see us, come talk wrestling with us. Thank you for the support. Thanks for listening.
Route.